Rajeev Chandrasekhar is the Union Minister of State for Entrepreneurship, Skill Development, Electronics and Technology, and Jal Shakti. A successful entrepreneur and three-time Rajya Sabha MP from Karnataka, BJP's Rajeev Chandrasekhar is facing off against Congress's Shashi Tharoor, who is looking to win the Thiruvananthapuram seat for the fourth time in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. In an exclusive conversation with Business Line's Vincent Kurian, Chandrasekhar speaks about the recently notified citizenship amendment rules, the Modi government's infra push, and the elections.
Be said, and I'm saying this with all the responsibility in my command. There are parties today that are so desperately out of ideas that the only political strategy they have is appeasement. And now, which is fine. They are entitled to that. But when you misrepresent something like CAA to just simply gain the votes of a particular community, you are effectively lying to get votes. The CAA is a simple legislation that effectively says religious minorities that are persecuted in neighboring countries will be fast-tracked into citizenship. It doesn't say anywhere that that any community is prohibited from seeking citizenship. All it means is if you're a Christian, if you're a Jain, if you're a Sikh, if you're a Hindu, in any of the neighboring countries where they're minorities and they're therefore going to be persecuted because they're minority, you can get fast-tracked into seeking India as a refuge. Today, my opponent Shashi Tharoor has been more than facetious with his statement, and he's been deliberately wrong about it. He says, what about Muslims who are persecuted in Pakistan? Now, first of all, if a Muslim is persecuted in Pakistan, it will not be based on religious persecution. It will be on some other ground. Nothing prohibits that person from applying for asylum in India. There's nothing in the CAA that says he cannot apply for asylum. Let us say there is somebody who fights a military dictatorship in Pakistan and is hounded out of that country and wants asylum. Nothing prevents him from applying. Somebody in Afghanistan is persecuted by somebody there. Many Afghans have made India their home. They can apply for asylum. What this CAA does is provide a framework for those who are religious minorities and who have been persecuted. They must know that there is a home called India. They must know that if you are a Hindu or a Christian or a Sikh or a Jain in this neighborhood, that if you are persecuted for being a Sikh or a Christian or a Jain or a Hindu in a country like Pakistan, that you can always, you don't need to feel despondent, you don't need to feel hopeless, you don't need to feel that you are desperate and without a home. You will know that India is a home. Now, for everybody else in the world, first of all, we cannot run a free pass kind of an entry. But there's nothing prohibits them from applying for legal asylum status. They can apply in India, they can apply in UK, they can apply everywhere that anybody applies for asylum. There is a process. That's all. In the UK, there is a process. So why should it be different here? So people so desperately out of ideas, so desperate to use appeasement as the only tool to get votes, are being forced to say lies, patent lies. And that is, in my opinion, deeply embarrassing to them. It is unfortunate and unfair to the community that they are speaking to. And it does nobody any good to keep a whole community with political formation on the basis of lies and falsehoods. The CAA does not do anything prejudicial to any community in India. That is the fact, that is the truth. I hope more and more people cut through the lies and the misinformation and the falsehood that are being put out there and learn the truth.
And no existing citizens of India will be affected in whatsoever.
It is again a figment of an overarching political misinformation campaign to start saying things like, if you are a particular community, you will be deported. Where do people get to that from a simple bill that says if you are a religious minority in a Muslim dominant country, as the main two countries are
Yes.
to the west and east of us,
Yes.
you can always realize that you have a home in India because you are a religious minority in these two countries.
Yeah.
You need an economy that is growing, you need government to get revenues.
Yes.
It is only then the things like what Prime Minister has done. For example, I am also in charge of Jal Shakti Ministry.
Yes.
In 3 years,
Yes.
11.7 crore households have got fresh tap water.
Okay.
Transforming their lives, transforming their children's lives, transforming their health, transforming all of that.
Yes.
And that 3,50,000 crores that was spent for in 3 years
Yes.
was possible only because we had a booming economy.
Right.
We had booming investment.
Yes.
And so to expect that you can build social infrastructure or physical infrastructure or any other kind of enabling environment for the economy to grow without a growing economy
Yes.
is basically going back to the old Marxian philosophy
Yes.
of taking a small cake and cutting thinner and thinner slices and distributing it to a larger number of people.
Yeah.
Unless the pie grows,
Yes.
there is no way for any government, regardless of whether you have graduated from the Marx School of Politics or from the Congress School of Politics,
Yes.
there is no way for people to be protected, people to be empowered.
Okay.
And that is our track record of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We have grown the economy.
Yes.
We have grown it without absolutely any black mark.
Yeah.
We have spent record amounts on infrastructure,
Yeah.
physical and social. And we have brought 25 crore people out of poverty, something that has never been done in the history of India.
Yeah.
So that is the case that I'm making to the people of Thiruvananthapuram.